Welcome to Kyle Anthony's UFC Betting Show. I am Kyle Anthony, and welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Bet Review Show for UFC on ESPN 9. Woodley versus Burns. We're going to talk about the plays that we had, our client plays, and I think I'm going to change this actual show from the Bet Review Show to the Profit Show, because that's all we do here. We cash tickets, we make money. You're not going to see on here, golf charity event picks and Korean baseball and ping pong. Maybe there's some experts out there. I am not one of those. We stick to what we know. We do not deviate from that. We stick to it. We keep our research going, and we keep cashing tickets. So we're first going to talk about the fact that once again we made money. This is a big night again. 5% play was able to cash in overall. So we're going to first talk about that one. We had Jamal Hill as our 5% play. The first time I've ever released a 5% play ever with Wagertalk. I appreciate all the people that went out there, bought the pick, got involved in it. It was a great opportunity for us to make some money, and it was a minus 135. The line was shifting down a little bit at the end, and that shows you also, again, people regurgitate line movement. The whole point of it is, yes, we do need to get a good price on our bet. That is for sure. But behind that, we need to win, right? We need to actually have some winners behind these line movements and all these other things that people want to talk about. So Jamal Hill went up against Abreu, and this is a fight here. And if you want to take a look at it, I have it up on Wagertalk right now. You can read the write-up. But that the clients got when they actually went out there and made the purchase for the my 5% play. And really in this thing here was the fact that Abreu was really not that good. He's got a padded record. He's 15-3, I think, somewhere around there. Beat some lower level guys and never really showed that, his big thing was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's got the Jiu-Jitsu credentials, and that's something that Hill did not have. And that, of course, started making bettors bet blindly on Abreu because of the fact that he's got a ground game. But if you really take a look at the research, you dive into it, the big thing here is Abreu is not really good at takedowns. He doesn't really stand and smother you. He kind of stands at a distance. He really gives his opponent the opportunity to strike, work the distance management, and somebody like Hill, who has fantastic striking from the outside, and as I said it in the write-up, that's the worst possible spot that you can be when you're fighting a guy like Hill. That Hill is this rising star, and if you're not going to be able to smother him and close that distance, that is going to be an exact spot that Hill can stand on the outside, work his big strikes, use his 5-inch reach advantage. His definitely has a much better striking than Abreu had overall. There was nothing that I liked in Abreu, and in the fight there, it pretty much happened. I mean, from the outside, he worked. He dropped him early in that first round, and then he kept basically pouring it on, and there was nothing that really Abreu showed. And again, even in the clinch, I mean, I don't even know if they even clinched, but even the clinch, Abreu does not really look good over his last 5 fights. I mean, he doesn't really show much. So in this fight here, Jamal goes out there, gets the first round knockout for us, gets us all paid. It was nice to see my first ever 5% play hit. Nice to do. Made us all money, and we go on to the next one. So able to cash in on that one. The other one we had Sukhoi and Sakai. And sorry, I'm a little hungover from last night. Sakai, and this was a fight here again. I mean, Sukhoi Ivanov, I just hate everything about him that I see. And when you see him from the way he strikes, he definitely has, some grappling credentials. But if you look at how he actually fights, besides for fighting Derek Lewis, he doesn't really get takedowns. He's another guy that has the credentials, doesn't use it. And it's almost like a Gaethje kind of thing. Gaethje has great striking, a lot of wrestling credentials, but he doesn't use it. So it's another situation where it's nice to check the box that he's got the credentials there for Ivanov, but he doesn't use what he actually has. He doesn't use all of his weapons. Sakai goes out there, and the same kind of thing. He's a big guy. He's 265 pounds. He is actually light on his feet. He cuts down to get to 265, but he's actually got good cardio. He showed it even late in that fight, where second and third round, Ivanov, again, we talked about it on my write-up, check it out, that Ivanov, the further you go with Ivanov, pretty much, he slows down. He definitely early on could look for the big shot, and then it just starts to go down. And Ivanov had a lot of success when he was fighting guys in lower organizations, going out there, using his chin. Guys wouldn't be able to put him away, and he wouldn't really have to do too much to get those victories. So Sakai goes out there. He looked really good. I mean, he's a heavyweight guy that I would definitely look to bet in his next fight. The only situation now is, where do they put him? Is he going to be up into the situation where he's taking a big jump up in competition? that is something that's to be seen, so we'll see what happens there. But Sakai goes out there and gets us another victory for my clients. We go out there and cash in again. That was, roughly a minus 105, minus 110, somewhere in that spot. We're not looking at these big ones, minus 400 plays. We're not giving minus 400 plays out. That's not capping. That's just kind of like a weak way to give a pick. So we're also going to talk about the main event. And that's something that a lot of people wanted to talk about because it was the main event. And I talked about it on my prediction show. You can check that out on my channel. And I actually did the write-up also on Wagertalk as well. And the situation here was a lot of people regurgitating the same kind of situation. Woodley can't get taken down. He's got this, it's not going to get to the ground. It's, his striking is so good, or he's all of these things. And you look at just what happens over the last 3 fights. And to me, that is the most important part of this, is what's recently happened. You can't go back to you can take that in any sport. You can't say that, hey, a guy, he threw 10 touchdowns in one game, 8 years ago. What happened recently? You've got to look at the what's happening now. And with Woodley in this situation here, he has looked great, but people talk in his past, P has looked great, but the knockdowns is something that people kept talking about, and I just didn't see it. And when you talk about Robbie Lawler, and they showed it before the fight, Robbie Lawler getting knocked out, and Koscheck, he knocked Koscheck out. These knockouts were 4 and 5 years ago. Since then, he's fought people like Stephen Thompson, where he danced around the cage for the most part. Damian Maia, they danced around the cage. He never really went in there and had that instinct, that killer instinct that we are used to seeing with Tyron Woodley. And with Burns' 4-fight win streak coming in over the last year since Woodley's been out, but also the fact that Woodley does not really show much in his arsenal anymore. And I'm a fan of Woodley. This is not like I dislike the guy, because when we're betting, we don't talk about who is my favorite fighter, or who do I really like, or hey, I really like this guy, so I should bet him. That's not capping. That's kind of bullshit, to be honest with you. That's not really capping. To me, we look at data, we look at information, we cap, we see who has a better striking, better grappling, and we kind of piece it together. And in this situation here, Burns checked every box. With the striking, he is absolutely better. And again, you can go back to my prediction show, my write-up on Wagertalk also. The striking's better. The ground game that everyone keeps talking about how great of this defense that Woodley had, but quietly, you've got somebody like Gilbert Burns, who was a 4-time world jiu-jitsu champion. Nobody talked about that. And it's kind of an awkward thing where why would you not talk about a guy that has so many credentials, so good at what he does, but also if it stood, people thought then Woodley would have the advantage, and absolutely not in this situation. In 5 rounds, I mean, he really just obliterated him throughout. I mean, I think there was points in there the fight could have been stopped early, when he was just kind of slapping him around, on top of him, had top control, really muscled him around, and that was something that you saw against Usman when Woodley fought him. That again, he's got a good past of takedown defense. He is not that kind of fighter anymore. Burns goes out there, slaps him around for 5 rounds, goes out, gets us paid again at a plus 150, 156 on our free play. It was nice to hit that one. So again, we make some money there as well. And the one that we did lose on Spike Carlisle. And this was a fight here where I really actually thought that Carlisle got this victory. Judging from people on Twitter who were reaching out to me, they also agreed as well. So I really thought that he had got those first 2 rounds. I thought that he went out there, he did enough to kind of chip away. First round I thought was easily his. Second round I thought he actually squeaked that one out. I would give him the thing that I didn't like, and Carlisle has great cardio. He definitely has got great cardio. But he kind of blew his load in that first round where he went out there like an animal and didn't really just pace himself. Without a doubt, you can see he had the better striking. I think that he overall could have easily muscled around Billy. He could have easily just kind of thrown him around, but he was so tired, and I think that it would have been an easy victory for him if it kept going forward and just kind of sticking to a strategy. You can't really cap a guy going absolutely berserk in the first round, so that did not happen. We did not get that victory. I really thought we had that victory, did not get it, but overall, once again, we make money here. That's what we do. We try to go out there and make money, and again, we want to have some fun. I also want to enjoy myself as I do these, give you guys content, want to have fun with it. But again, we go to the next one. We'll have the prediction show out on Tuesday. Same thing. We're going to give out, 1 or 2, 3 free plays. Also going to have my client plays as well. If you want to check that out, you go to Kyle Anthony UFC on Twitter, or you go to Wagertalk, look me up. You'll see me there as well. Definitely subscribe. Give this a like. I appreciate everybody that has reached out. Congratulations, all these things. But there is no time to celebrate. And every time I say this, we go out there, we make money. But again, there's an event that comes up that we have to go out, got a cap, and we got to give you guys the picks, give you guys some winners. So, no Korean baseball here, all right? No Korean baseball here. So that's the show. That's it. We're out of here. So enjoy your day. This is Kyle Anthony's UFC betting show, and I'll see you on the prediction show on Tuesday.